Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Nice to see you're in. I'm David Sponheim, and we're here to talk about soup. Yeah, super soup. When everything in your cupboard is collecting, dust, and you've opened up your Y2K supply and you've got all these cans, yeah, that's super soup time. And I've got some cans that I honestly think need to be actually opened. So this one in particular has a little rust around the outside. It's an organic cream of celery soup. I got this for $1. I picked up some really good organic northern beans here. I got for 49 cents. So I did really well on this stuff. So I got 2 cans of that going in. Organic great white northern beans, really good quality. I've got this container of San Francisco soup. It kind of inspired me. It's a Riviera San Francisco soup I picked up at Walgreens a long time ago for 25 cents. I don't think you can see that there. So I got a good deal on that. I had these organic Amy's vegetarian soups that I want to eat up. I got some baked beans here. Now that's a big can of Bush's baked beans. Got some no salt tomatoes. I'm going to probably put a couple of cans of these in. I picked these up at the dollar store for 50 cents a piece. They're like this, but this is actually non-GMO. It sells at the dollar store. I got these for 50 cents each. So I didn't spend more than $5 on the ingredients here, but I'm putting $10 down. The onion and the carrots. We want a sizable amount of carrots. I've got some organic celery and an onion. Now again, you can abbreviate everything in the can department with whatever you want. It's part of my Flex cooking series that I'm working on here. Survivors of the Las Vegas mass shooting were inside California bar during the attack. Are you serious? So you have an official verdict. Scissor Fight says it's a fake shooting. Well, that's interesting. Thank you, Scissor Fight. I'll be keeping in touch with you a little bit later. Yes, garlic. Definitely put garlic in for sure. I've got some hand-picked garlic from my collection here. Have you ever seen these things? These are garlic roasters. You put them in the oven. And I've got little garlics I keep in there for posterity. I grew in my garden. I'll take one of those bulbs out. It's got about 6 or 7 cloves in it. All right, so yeah, if you've ever roasted garlic, it's really outstanding. All right. Yeah, I know some of you are looking to try to see my feet way back here. You can't see my feet over there. Yeah, I want to see the death certificates of every decedent in the past 10 years of all the different terrorist attacks. I think you do too. The government's going to have to produce those. That's going to be my goal. No, I'm not going to show my feet. We talked about that. So when you have like a can of whole peeled tomatoes, I might not use the tomato juice in here. I may just put that on the side and drink it later. Because, hang on, I've got a call. Hello? Hello?
To accept, press 1. To voicemail.
Can I help you? Hello? Hello? No one was there. Okay, so I've got a lot of canned goods I've got to do, and the biggest problem with this stuff is salt. Too much salt. So whenever you get no salt ingredients like this or like this, yeah. And in my case, I've got so many tomatoes here that, as you can see, Sarah brought some tomatoes to me from her garden, and she said, use these in the mix. So I'm going to throw those in there too. All right, we're going to be cooking on this big, beautiful, look at that. That is a beautiful kettle, porcelain kettle, or enamel kettle, I'm sorry. Yes, ABC, what can I do for you? Yeah, you can't spam here. I'm going to have to mute you. I'm so sorry. I will, as soon as we get the information. Yeah. As soon as we get the information, Scissor Fight says it's 1,000 hoax is what it is. You know, I didn't see a lot of activity last night when we had live footage and we listened to the, I was in there listening to the audio clips. Yeah, we had, Bingo was in last night. And all the way to 2:30 or 3 in the morning, we were listening to the audio clips. Hardly any audio clips at all of the incident. Very low amount of chatter among the police, which indicates there wasn't a big event at all. Very interesting. Hey, Sam, you're not going to be able to be in here. You just got permabanned. The last permaban lasted about a year, so not a good move, dude. Okay, I'll take that link for now, but I'll look at it a little bit later. We're in the middle of the cooking show. Let me get started here. Okay, as with all things, you got to turn the grill on. So I'm going to get that going at level 3 right here. And I'm going to get it hot before I put any oil down. Now this kielbasa sausage, like I said, you can replace this with some ground beef if you want. That's what this original Riviera brand has in it. The original San Francisco soup was a potatoes, carrots, sirloin burger. But I'm telling you, I've cooked with kielbasa before. And this is really good. It's a uncured natural made by Hillshire Farm. It adds tremendous flavor to your soup. So your soup is going to be super. Everybody will love it. Yeah, you could do barley instead of potatoes, but don't do potatoes and pasta, because it's on a big, if you were making minestrone soup, it would be, interesting to have pasta in it, but I'm going with potatoes because I actually had some potatoes from Sarah's garden that I've already pre-cooked. These are just little new potatoes. They were totally organic, so I'm going to throw them in there toward the end of the mix because they've already been pre-cooked. But just for flavor, and since it's organic, you're not getting any of those peelings which could have pesticides on them, but they don't. I know for a fact. We know they were grown in a really nice soil. So if you do have skins on your potatoes, you want to peel them off. So I've got some extra potatoes here. And I've been telling people about this idea of looking for this brand on your potatoes, because there's a guy who created, anything that says non-GMO is good, because there's a guy who created some genetically modified potatoes. Yeah, I know, you nearly saw the feed. There's a guy who made some genetically modified potatoes. He said I wouldn't eat them. He wouldn't eat them. He actually is concerned because not even common rats will eat his potatoes. So, yeah. They don't really test a lot of genetically modified things when they put them on the market. So I'm going to go ahead and do some peeling. Yeah, I don't know if this is it's non-GMO, but I don't know about the ground it was in. It could have been pesticides. So I'm just peeling those peelings off of these potatoes. And I'm going to cube them and throw them at the base of the pan with some oil and onions and celery and carrots. So that's the goal. And these things have to be eaten up. You can't just let them sit around. If you let them sit around, they're not going to, they're going to sprout out, and then they'll turn green. You don't want green potatoes. So, and when you're using a peeler, be sure you don't put your fingers underneath the peel, because you can peel your fingers right off. So you got to be really careful to hold that potato away from your little fingers. I'm serious. People have peeled their fingers right off in cooking shows. Just like, oh, no, not my finger. Oh no, my finger. Yeah, I remember when Bobby Flay was in one of the Power Cook-Offs that he was in, and he cut himself. And it's like, dude, you're a chef. What are you cutting yourself for? I don't get that. Anyway. Whoa, I almost cut myself. Well, if you allow yourself to get completely nervous when you're cooking, which is not something you want to do. So this would be a calming experience. So I'm going to slowly calm down. I got some Anaheim peppers out of my garden here. I've been growing these Anaheim peppers, and they're growing still in the winter, which is kind of unusual. And I grow them because my name sounds like Anaheim, Sponheim, you know. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and finish off the peelings of these four little potatoes. So basically, this meal calls for some extra potatoes to add bulk to your meal. So you want to feed a lot of people with this stuff. So putting like 2 large potatoes in there won't hurt. This is the equivalent of 2 large potatoes. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull the onion skin off. Best way to do that is to just bisect the thing right there in the middle. And then put your hand on the cleaver and then drop it right down. And then cut a little base at the base portion. That's where a lot of that really nasty, oniony thing comes out and causes you to cry, and you don't want that. All right. Somebody said, "Oh, David, I can't reach you. The phone's not on." Oh, sorry. Go ahead. David, how come your hair looks like the what? Well, we got another one. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. And another one down, and another one down. Another one bites the dust. Hey! Yeah, we just took a ban on a guy that was saying bad words about me. People don't realize that I'm able to do about 14 things at the same time, so. Yeah. Multitasking always. All right, so that pan is getting hot. The goal is to get the pan hot. And then throw the, this is where fingernails come in handy. Yeah, throw the oil down. So we're going to take some olive oil, and as you know, I've been cooking with this incredible olive oil. Calavette. Wow, that's kind of hot in there. I kind of want my onions to go down on the oil at the same time the oil goes down in the pan, so I'm going to drop the temperature to low just temporarily. You want to go fairly like 1/4 inch with your onions, kind of chunky. One large onion or 2 medium onions is what this dish calls for. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and throw the oil down on the pan. I'm going to put about 4 tablespoons in there. And then I'm going to throw the onions on top, raising my temperature to level 3 again. We got a little sizzle. And throw those potatoes in, cut them kind of like in slices. Like about that thick. Okay. It already smells great. Wow. Dinner is real, yeah, it has that instantaneous nice smell. I'm going to throw the carrots on top of everything. I love those carrots because they're pre-peeled. Now the celery, you can just cut it like this. It's already clean because it's organic. I went out of my way to buy organic. But just slice it like that. 2 stalks would be enough. Some people cook with this, but I don't really like to cook with the lettuce. Or the top of it, rather. I'll throw that in the compost heap. Okay, we're done. Just throw that in on the pan. Okay. All right, now I turned the fan off, so it initially had some problems. We'll wait on the peppers, but I am going to take some of those tomatoes that Sarah got, and I'm going to wash them off a little bit. And I'm going to throw the tomatoes in on this dinner too. There we go. Apparently she said this is oh, that's a beautiful tomato. I think I'm going to keep that one and get one of these other older ones. I got a little softer one here, identical. All right, take the tops off and you can throw tomatoes right in there. They're great for flavoring. Just chop them right off. Yeah, you can use the skins, they're perfectly fine. And just kind of wedge them out like that. They'll melt down in the pan with all the other vegetables. Okay. Throwing those in the pan. Okay, we're at level 3, so it's all good. And that cherry tomato, that'll be good. I'll cut that in quarters. Okay, what we're adding is all kinds of flavor. It's a flavor blast. Really good flavoring. Yeah, no mushrooms. If you want to put mushrooms in, this dish does not call for it. Thanks for sharing. Cooking with olive oil is way better than any other oil, in my opinion. Lower cholesterol, lower potential trans fat. If you're cooking with margarine, stop. Okay, those carrots are going to need a kind of a steamy environment, and those potatoes are going to need a steamy environment. So I'm just going to top it off with a shaker of about a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. There we go. And we'll cover it right up. I'll prep the meat in just a bit. The nice thing is you get the vegetables going, and you get that flavoring is fresh. Hey, Miss Scruffy, hey, you're in. We've got a hate gays things going. I don't hate gay people. No, I just don't support LGBTQP. Yeah. I drew the line on that one. The Democrats can support LGBTQP. I will, however, not take away the rights of people like Trump is doing. And I will certainly allow transgenders and homosexuals to work in the military. Absolutely. All government jobs will be free of discrimination. Yeah. It's kind of bright. Wonder how it would be without the light. That's different. I don't know if I like that. What about this light over here? No, that doesn't do anything either. All right, we'll go back to the original light construction. Time for coffee. I'm promoting this delusional idea that I'm a robot. Isn't that great? I'm not a robot, and I'm not delusional, and I'm not pretending to say I'm a robot, but people think I'm a robot. Isn't that ridiculous? I find that absurd. David, you are down on Vaughn Lab? Okay, let me go back. We're coming in clear. I will go back off and then back on again. Okay, there we go. Refresh. I'm not a reptilian either. I'm just an average American with an extremely high intelligence quotient. Yeah. And it's essential that everybody drink coffee. Well, I hope everybody had fun with putting those ingredients in the container, because now we get to cut the meat. I'm smart. I'm a smarty. Dave Love, Von Love is down. I know. We're up again. You know, I'm not going to put some mushrooms in there, but you can. we're making super soup. And one of the things we do, Miss Scruffy, is we get a really good cut of sausage when making soup. You can never lose by putting really good sausage. Even the kind that, you get for Christmas. Those sausages that are in packages. This is a Hillshire Farm natural with no cures. It's uncured, so there's no MSG or nitrates in it. Yeah, isn't that great? I bought this for $1. I get these on sale in the past due section. They're perfectly fine. I freeze them. They're completely safe. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that sausage right there. And I'm not forgetting my garlic. I'm going to put that in a little later. Now with this dish, I kind of want to eat a lot of meat in every bite. So before I was just cutting them like this. Slices like that. I'm going to cut them again in the middle like this. And then I'm going to cut them sideways. The idea is to get more meat in every bite of soup, so that everybody has kind of a little chunk of goodness, So we're going to cut the sausage right here. And when the vegetables that are hard to cook are pretty much kind of al dente, which will be in about 5 minutes, we'll throw the meat and the peppers in on top. Whoops. Contamination point. Beep, beep. I'll have to wash that breadboard because I don't want to get sausage meat on it. All right, so this can be replaced with hot dogs if you have very little bit of money. Sausages, breakfast sausages are great. Yeah, you'll get that flavoring with breakfast sausages. You get a little bit more meat with hot dogs. And if you're really hurting, you could do like last week's recipe and cook with Vienna sausages. 50 cents a can. Tell me that's not wild. I think my plate needed to be a little bigger to do this. All right. We're almost sliced up here. Tragedy. Processing tragedy in America. It's just so many people are going through this horrible, oh, I'm so sad about all the people that passed away. Well, I would be sad if we really did lose lives, but we haven't seen any evidence of that yet. Hey, you could put steak in there. But remember, if you do put steak in there, you've got to really cut it down to size, because if you put steak in there, it's going to be tough. Nobody wants a piece of steak, sinewy steak, while they're eating soup. It's like a real party killer. No, I'm going to put garlic in after I put all the garlic goes in toward the end. So. Well, I do cook with genetically modified food at times. I try to avoid corn syrup whenever possible. It's not like you can be perfect with all the food we have and, what our diets are. NRT says I should be using Bertolli. Well, as long as it's not an oil named in that recent controversy about olive oil, where various people have been trying to put canola oil in the olive oil. It's hard to eat clean. Yeah, it is. Especially if you're, really into certain junk food. If you go to fast foods all the time, it's hard to eat clean. It really is. No, there's no evidence, in no way. I have never, ever even had a gay thought in my mind. That's what makes people like that come in here. They're sexually harassing me. So, we've got a big problem with Acosta. I took care of it. We stopped it. We won't have another problem with him. Everything about Donald Trump, he puts it all away, like he compartmentalized it. We got rid of that problem. No, Acosta represented all the Americans that voted for the Democrats in the House. It's not like America doesn't care about the Russian thing, Donald, and it is your fault. It's all fake news. It's a Russian hoax. I like Acosta. I think he could definitely be at the press conferences for sure. I do face harassment all the time. It's amazing. All right, so we're getting nice and cooked. Let me check it out, see what we're at. Oh, this isn't happening fast enough. I'm going to take it up to level 6. Whoa. Yeah, we're running a little behind. Those carrots take a lot of extra cooking. They can't just cook. They take a while. And I can't add the other ingredients to it, the ones that are already pre-made in the can, which makes this whole meal really easy, by the way. If you just throw canned food together, oh, it's so much easier. But it won't taste quite as fresh as what we're looking for. Yeah. Oh, parsley would be good. Yeah, I would go outside and get some parsley. I'd put my mushrooms in. But today I went with my my little Anaheim peppers. I'm going to go ahead and... So I like the pepper flair in a soup. I really enjoy that taste, the spicy taste, you know. My Anaheim peppers are the least spicy of all peppers. Well, let's be clear. So I'm just going to prep these down here. Kind of slide off the sides. I can't believe how they're still producing and we're like 52 degrees out there. I'll have to pull them off the plants in about, I'd say about a week when the snow starts coming in. We get snow occasionally in Washington. It's not like back east. You get it more out there. And I just take the tip of the knife to knock off the seeds there, off the sides. Yeah. Kind of slice off the sides and rotate it as you go. And then the core is protected. Then you just put that in the compost or reseed it. I've got some Anaheims out there already growing in my greenhouse, so I'm going to let those go ahead and harvest those instead of these. Wow, see, I'm already done cutting through all this. So this is kind of the coming in with the final spices to kind of round out the taste and fuse all those ingredients together. Oh, there's one more. Okay. Yeah, I think I can turn this a little bit. There you go. What is America? America is the melting pot of the world. I mean, we've got so many people from various origins that have come here that call themselves Americans that we are now dealing with the growing pains of a country that seems to be, every time somebody comes into the country, they're rejected like they're some evil criminal. And ironically, we did the same thing with Italians and Irish people back in the day, as we're doing with Muslims under Trump. Okay, I've got to get my spatula in there to move it around. Okay, we're definitely accelerating. You don't want to spend a lot of time with the... now is a good time to actually add the meat or the peppers. You're about halfway cooked through the vegetables. Oh, we got a call. Oh, that's a new person. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Awesome.
No, that was a troll. That's all they do is troll me every night. Dance time is right now. Rocking out, cooking. I touched the phone, which means it's completely contaminated. Phones happen to be really, potential contamination zones, so you have to wipe your hands off. All right. I'm going to slice these up in little pieces. No more than a quarter of an inch, right in there. Okay. I'll throw those in with the peppers, with the sausages at the same time. Okay, watch my technique here. I'm going to throw it in the pan without jeopardizing the heat seal. You see that? How fast that was? Faster than the average human. Oh, you saw my feet? Really? Oh, there's a little place right over here. Oh, you saw my big toe. Oh my gosh. Can you believe they actually saw my big toe? Oh, I gotta move that. Now this is called flex cooking. Ladies, you can start rocking out and dancing. That's what we do. Ruth Bader Ginsburg has been hospitalized. Those juice drinks are not giving her enough protection. Wow. She received love, spells, and offers of organ donation. Well, I hope she gets better. God knows if Trump installs another conservative in that seat, oh my goodness, they'll be goose-stepping and shooting people at the border. I know, I am greater than David Blaine. My tricks are natural, you know. I don't do magic. I make magic. I am magic. I do dress I always do cooking in my dress shirt and slacks at home, yeah. Well, the whole thing, thank you, Ivanka. I know, feet really, Jared's feet must look like, my feet could be modeled. I have such great feet, but Jared, poor Jared. Dave, I am not the greatest living human being. No, not according to me. No, I think we're all kind of equal on this planet. We're trying to make the best of what we have. They should have cut the mic. Yeah, they should have. Confrontation's bad for a president.
Call from.
Hello?
To accept, press 1.
Hello.
Okay. And she come on my property and then she kick my dog.
Yeah. Some ridiculous troll call again. Jeez. Can't we get any serious calls? Hey, I'm running behind. I have got to get my cans open. Yeah, you guys are really pushing the envelope. Time to open up these cans. And you know, I haven't really prepped this garlic. Let's do that first. Oh, nice. There's all kinds of little pieces in there. And when you do that, you can just pull the hull right off and push the little pieces out. Yeah, it's kind of a great way to make garlic. Otherwise, you'll be spending hours working on pulling off the outside of the hull of that. It's really a pain. You know, I prefer buying crushed garlic, but I've been growing this in my garden, so. All right, yeah, it doesn't have to be more than a few cloves for this meal, but you can put as much garlic as you want, really. The more the merrier. The problem is when people get a whiff of everybody, and if this is being served to a large group, it's like, hi, oh my God, did you just have some of that garlic soup? You reek. You put 10 heads of garlic. Hi, and everyone like goes, ooh, gross, ooh. Yeah, that's happened to me. Yeah, I had people tell me, Dave, you reek. I had no idea that eating cloves of garlic could really piss people off as much as it did, but oh yeah. We're talking about the garlic head. Yeah. All right. 3 cloves. Yeah, put 3 cloves in there. All right, throw the cloves in right now. And then give it a little spin. Yeah, give it a little spin. I don't want to put any bad things in there. You're a very bad person. Remember that Twilight Zone? Okay, we're going in now. And we're going to spin everything around. You notice I haven't put any kind of water or anything in there? Yeah. Think, well, Dave, you're making soup. Well, we'll do the water thing later, because right now we got to pop some cans. Let's get busy. We got this Riviera San Francisco soup ready to go out of the can. It's like a minestrone with some potatoes and ground beef in it. I'm throwing that in there. You can always throw a little water in the can to get the residue out, you know, assuming you're dealing with a BPA-free can, hopefully. Yeah, I'm going to do the no salt tomatoes. I like the mechanical hand twist because it's so much easier than the... I mean, I prefer it than electric ones. And I'm going to throw those tomatoes in right now. And give that a little rinse. Try to get everything out of there. All right. Then I'm going to go with this baked bean thing. It's got a touch of maple syrup in it, which will add a little sugar to this meal. And I read the can. It's Bush's baked beans, and it says a real touch of maple syrup in there. And it really says, yeah, real maple syrup. It says it on the recipe. Be very careful with lids. They can hurt you bad. Okay, to throw the whole can in there. Okay, and then keeping the vegetables at the bottom, kind of gently press everything down in there. All right. I'm going to turn the flame down to level 3 because I don't want anything to burn at this point. Now the idea right now is to get everything nice and hot and keep cooking those potatoes and carrots. I got to make sure they're done before I add any more really good ingredients. All right, we got a couple more cans I've got to open. Now with some of these ingredients, you can rinse the fluid out. Like the baked beans, that fluid was good because that had a really good, it had been in a kettle at Bush's factory for a long time. But these organic white northern beans are of no value, really. The juices are of no value. So what I'm going to do is show you how to rinse them out. And you can actually put the juice in the compost heap if you want, but excuse the wiring. I'm going to go ahead and use a strainer, which I highly recommend getting something like this if you cook a lot. You'd have splashback, Miss Scruffy? Really? Yeah, it's easy to have splashback, but I'm very accurate, so I don't have to. I'm just going to throw them right in there on that. And then just rinse over it, because what you're doing is taking out some of that extra salt. Because remember, the big problem with making soup is it has too much salt in it. You with me? Yeah, you want to minimize the amount of salt that you have. Because there's just so much salt. People will go, oh gosh, I can't handle it. Yeah. All right, so you're going to put that in the container. I'm just going to lift the hatch and put it in there. I'll do that with the other can too. You don't have to see that. I just did that. Okay, try to get all the beans. That's really kind of cool to have organic. I bought these for 49 cents a can. And they were like originally sale priced at $1. And they went down to 49 cents when I got them, so. Rinsing them off is good too. Gets any potential contaminants, even if it's organic, you never know. Okay, we'll put that in there too. Great. Moving right along. Okay, I'm going to flip can this organic Amy's soup lentil in there. I got these in bulk at Costco, so they're $1 a can, which is great. You notice that it's kind of like a thickening agent in there. That's kind of nice whenever you see thickening agent of any kind, natural. That's good. Because I am going to add more water to this. Now I'm going to add more water to this. You add a whole cup of water, purified water, and I'm down to 2 cans left. Great. Outstanding. Jesus, what's going on? That's not fungus. No, Amy's is a good brand. Yeah, I guess 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they do a really good job. Organic food is really on the rise. All of you can shop with your intelligent mind now instead of going out and buying just whatever you see at the market. And a lot of you are going to evolve as shoppers. I started buying organic in the early 80s and got so into it, I was a big protagonist for organic food. And I remember walking into the Safeway marketing offices in Los Angeles and talking to their general manager at Safeway. And he was thrilled to find out about organic food. And I said, well, do we have a sale here? And he says, no, I don't want to buy anything you have. Nothing. I'm just really glad you showed me this. And right after that, they started their own organic food line, the O brand. And I was really part of that inspiration that made that happen. It's one of the largest organic food producers in America. I represented organic food for about 2 or 3 years there. I was pushing it, marketing it. I didn't make a lot of money on it. I made money off organic wine, but I got screwed out of a big deal. Out of a unscrupulous wine broker screwed me out of about $10,000, and I kind of backed out of it. I just said no more to that. And then I ran into a guy who was a professional chef. I still know his name too. He was the most corrupt guy I've ever seen. He would do restaurant makeovers, and I even got him a deal. He made $15,000 with a restaurant in Hollywood, making over the restaurant. I mean, he made 15 grand on me, maybe even more, doing a makeover, because a lot of restaurants have these stop points, and this guy produced great hors d'oeuvres. He was a good chef, but he was so corrupt that he wouldn't even share a commission of 5% with me on any organic deal that I could put together, or any kind of a food deal I could put together. So I just got really a bad taste in my mouth from the food industry, pun intended. I'm not going to give you names, but it was pretty disgusting. And it was like he was like this piggish person who didn't care about anybody but himself. And I've run into a lot of people like Trump. I really have. Yeah, mistake. You mistake and you have to do it again, yeah. All right, I'm going to give everything a good stir here. I'm at level 3. Okay. The nice thing about this dish is it can cook on the stove for hours at a low burner, and you can even keep it on the burner for about 15 minutes. Hey, Ivanka, that's not cool. Whoever showed you how to do that is really bad. Same with We Go and Sloopy Soup. Yeah. Okay, Ivanka got muted. So, what kind of soup are you making? It's a super soup. It's got, at the very base, at the bottom, are these really great kielbasas, sausages that were not cured, so they're free of MSG and nitrates. And then as you go up, you've got the tomato base. And I'm going to add a couple more soup cans here. Cream of celery. This is like a thickener too, so it smells good. It's just adding more celery to the taste. That's why I didn't put any, I chose not to put any mushrooms, because mushrooms and celery to me just don't work. And the final can is this tomatoes. I'm going to probably drain the sauce off into a container and eat and drink the juice. It's tomatoes, whole tomatoes in tomato juice. So, I guess it's a little thicker than I intended. Well, if you've got any vodka, that would be great. You could mix it with vodka if you're a drinker. It's a little too thick to drain out, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it in there. All right, we're done. I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to keep adding some more water. Now I'm looking for consistency. I'm going to check the overall consistency of the soup. The goal is to not be too thin and not to be too thick, otherwise it's a stew. And I'm just cleaning out some cans because I recycle all these cans, every one of them. Excellent. All right. Yeah, nothing goes to waste around here, that's for sure. I have a robust recycling plan that I work with. You don't like mushrooms? They're for pigs? Wow. You hate mushrooms. I love mushrooms, but just not with celery for some reason. Yeah, it is kind of glamorous. All right, so let's try that tomato sauce. A little too salty in general, but man, that's good smell. It's just good. I'm just going to have it later. It has lycopene in it. Mmm. Okay, let's take a look here. We've got everything in there. I was going to cook with some of these little onions that Sarah grew, but I think I'll just keep those on the side and sprout them out, because when they sprout out, onions can grow again. Onions grow in layers. I heard Tucker Carlson got swatted or attacked by a bunch of people, protesters. Yeah. I'm going to take a look at what happened to him in just a few minutes. So let me close up here, give you guys an idea of how much soup we're looking at. I think I'm going to... Oh man, this is huge. Look at the volume of this. It's pretty good consistency right now, but it'll look better when it cooks down some, but that's a significant amount of soup. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the stove. I'm going to top it off with a little bit of Italian seasoning, kind of the finishing touches. You can put other things in there. I've got some Patti LaBelle I'm going to throw in there for flavoring. Patti LaBelle told me that this was $5.99. She came in and said, these are $5. I got these for 10 cents each. They're no salt seasoning, Patti LaBelle. So I'm just going to throw some on top of there. And now, and if you feel you need a little bit more volume, because I think I have a little too much salt in there, I'm going to add a little water, another cup. All right. I know how much a cup is. All right, we're going to go back in the burner. And I'm going to cook that at level low for about 2 more hours minimum. Yeah. And if you got a slow cooker or any kind of a crock pot, you can do it there. Hey, thank you for coming in, everybody, and experiencing my kitchen delight and how to cook for a lot of people for very little. Now, all of the scaled ingredients can be flexed down to lower cost ingredients, and you can just keep adding potatoes and make yourself a soup, because potatoes are cheap. And the nice thing about this deal is you can actually stretch it out. Now, we didn't have to cook the pasta separate. 3 minutes to the show start. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. So thank you. I'll be uploading this show later tonight. Thanks for watching, and I'll be up in 2 minutes in the other room. Take care.